RETV to pop it back up to the top.
All right, I think we are live. So
we're live right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know you get nervous
ready.
in front of
I'm
the
ready.
camera. I'm sorry.
I'm good. We're good to go.
But yeah, we're live. What's great is no one's watching, so it's one of those things that you're just like, we're talking, no one's watching.
That's the best.
And then people start watching, and you're like, all right, I do have friends.
And we are working from home today, so we have yeah. We've got an audience here, anyways.
One of my favorite things is like the tell me something your child did or your pet did, but call them your coworker.
Oh my wife Pawn did that one, and she had like 1 million comments. It's hilarious.
Yeah, some of them are really funny. So okay, there are people watching. Russell just said, "LOL." We are watching.
Nice, awesome stuff. We've got Russell Warmack is in the building.
Cool. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Katie. I'm in Houston, Texas. Tim Macy is an agent in San Antonio, Texas. And he's done a video or two. So I figured he might be okay to have on. No, I'm kidding. So Tim is absolutely amazing in videos. He does a ton of stuff as far as education. He does a lot for like the real estate community as far as educating people on how to do videos and what to do. He does super fun listing videos that are exciting, and I enjoy them a lot. I always show them to people. So I guess that's, doing what your goal is, right?
For sure.
So yeah, so wanted to have him on to talk a little bit kind of about Facebook. Paul says that you are the man. Well, he says Mr. T. I don't know if he's talking about you as in Tim or
I don't know,
T.
But that first time that nickname's come up, that's new territory.
We'll say that it's you. So yeah, we're going to talk about Facebook and just kind of what's worked for you, and just kind of, I was going to grill you a little bit, but if you want to share, I guess, a little bit about kind of your video journey, if you will, we can start there. As people trickle in.
So I started with a lot of this, like Facebook Live, right? And it's like anything else. I mean, we work with a lot of new agents, and when we're working with new agents, we want them to do a lot of things because you don't really know what's going to work until you do it and you get some feedback. You know what I mean? So whether you find out you're good at open houses, or you find out like you love mailers, I don't know who loves that, but there's like, you got to go do a bunch of stuff and find out what works. And I was doing Facebook Lives 5 years ago in like really bad houses. So we'd go buy houses at like a tax auction, and you go in them, and they'd be like these awful hoarder houses. And we'd go live in the bad houses, and people ate it up.
Yeah.
And so, I was like, okay, this works. Like, this is a thing that works. So I should keep doing more of it. And so that transitioned into a show like this. Like, I had my podcast, and that was another one. I did an interview, and then later on in the week, people kept coming up and saying, "Hey, I loved that interview you did." So I was like, okay, this works. I should do more of this. And so, I mean, me doing more and more video has just been a result of me doing it, getting a good reaction, and, doing more of it. But like, for example, open houses, like, I'm notoriously bad at open houses. Like, I'll do an open, I'll get people in, I'll have this great conversation with them, but I won't ask for their information, and I won't follow up with the people that do, right? I'm just not, you know what I mean? I'm just not good at it, but I found something that I'm good at. So we go all in on the things we're good at.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Good. Not a great advice for an open house, but the video, going all in on video makes sense. I appreciate that. Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that it's always cool to see like kind of the progression of video, right? Because I think everyone starts with stuff like this. Everyone starts with like, stuff shooting on your phone. And then as you continue to learn and grow, like, I know one thing I've been seeing a lot from you is like with your drone in houses. So that's been cool, kind of seeing the progression there, and seeing, it's right there. But yeah, right. Like, seeing that, okay, this works. This is a cool, technique. It's different. And then like, how to make it better. So, hey guys, I'm seeing some more viewers pop on as you guys are coming on. If you have any questions about Facebook and about, video, and, as it relates to Facebook, drop them in the comments so we can chat about them. So we'd love to hear what questions y'all have, what feedback you have, thoughts you have, things like that. And we will talk about them as we go.
I love it. Let's do it.
So yeah, how have things been going down in San Antonio?
Ooh, with the corona?
Yeah, and just in general, how's
I've got my Corona cut, my Corona haircut. So it's like not bad, but it's a little off. But no, I mean, look, obviously it has an effect. We've had some financing issues with some buyers. We did have, like a buyer that was gonna write an offer and then the next day lost their job type thing. So we've had some negative impacts, but deals are still closing. People are still moving. The market is still moving, and it hasn't come to a standstill. But it's definitely having some impact.
Yeah. Well, and I think something, again, that like I feel like you've been doing for a while is property videos and things like that. So I'm sure you've been getting a lot of views, of people that may not want to leave and go tour a house. It's like great that you have, kind of all this content of your listings and things like that.
Yeah, and I think what you're doing is a great example. People are staying home. People are sitting on the couch. People are on their phones, and so it's a above average opportunity for us to make sure we're staying in front of people. Like, I don't know if you would do this normally, right? Like, I don't know if you would do a little series of lives normally, but right now there's this opportunity because, we need to figure out how to stay active, and we need to realize that we have a captive audience right now sitting at home. So it's like, if I went live just sitting at my house talking about what's on Netflix, I'd probably have like 2 people that watch, right? But if I do that right now, I'd get like 30, 40, you know what I mean? Because everybody's just sitting around waiting for somebody to do something so they can watch and interact with it.
So we've got a question from Russell. He basically said that if he wants to do daily videos all at once and then push them out like weekly or bi-weekly, what would be some recommendations of what he should do to do that or buy to do that?
Russell, let me know like what kind of videos you're talking about. But the short answer is, I mean, one, like you can do so much with this thing, right? And Katie, you do like really good stuff with just this and in a couple different apps that are really good. But you want to push them out weekly. Like you need to know the different platforms to understand what your distribution strategy should be, right? And so if you want to push out daily videos or weekly videos, then Facebook is a great place to do that, for videos that are timely, or Instagram, right? Instagram's a great place to put, timely content. But like one thing that we've done a lot this year is focus on YouTube. In YouTube, you have to have a completely different strategy for your content. And so I would say, like, try to have a content strategy. You say you want to do daily videos, but have a strategy for like what kind of videos you're doing and who the target is.
Yeah. Well, and that's like my thing lately. I've been trying to clean up my YouTube, and I'm realizing like I've got to unlist so many videos because it's like no wonder like viewership's gone down or subscribes have gone down. So it's like Pandora's box. And like Malcolm was on yesterday, and he's like going into things. I'm like furiously writing stuff down because it was just like, man. So
yeah, the YouTube genius. He's good at YouTube, which is great. And I like we sat on a plane together, and I literally like saw his emails come in of people that were like, I saw your video, I want to buy a $500,000 house, right? So I had like he had total buy-in from me, like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing, but he's also really good at teaching it, communicating it.
Yeah.
And so that's like some people are really good at something, but not always the best teacher. He's also a very good teacher.
Yeah. So one thing I think I want you to talk about that I didn't tell you I wanted to talk about so like obviously you sell real estate, so you have your real estate page and you have other things that you do, but one thing is your San Antonio page that you started. So if you could, I guess, explain what that is, because no one knows. I guess I can pull it up on Facebook and share my screen.
Sure.
Yeah, I would love for you to dig into that some.
So we started our Yo San Antonio page, which we were out like doing restaurants and videos about restaurants. And obviously this whole thing kind of slowed that down, made it kind of tough. But the idea was that Facebook was cracking down a ton on like audiences, right? Like who can you, that's trippy. Who can you market to, right? And who can you do as a custom audience and targeting and all this other stuff. And so what we said was, okay, well, let's build our own audience, right? Like instead of depending on Facebook to build an audience for us, we'll make a local page that has nothing to do with real estate, right? And then we'll build a local page and build a local audience that has nothing to do with real estate, knowing that we're still in front of them, right? And the more we're in front of them, the more they're going to find out that we obviously are in real estate and that we are local experts So that's kind of the thought behind it. But the big thing too is like, if I send somebody that, that automatically puts me up on a tier as like being a local expert, right? Like when we're the person that's going out to the different places and doing the different stuff, we're obviously the local expert. And you know, Katie, that like people work with people that they know, like, and trust. And a lot of that trust factor is knowing that they're the local expert. So that's what this has done well for us with.
Yeah. So it looks like you've been doing some live videos. You've been doing, oh yeah, this is live as well. I know that you had done some, obviously, that were a little bit more, you know, curated and
so this
shot,
is all
right?
more recent stuff because of the coronavirus thing. I was like, all right, we're just gonna go do live. But then, yeah, once you get down to pre-corona, you'll see we had some nice like burger videos. We went to try different burger places. But the thing was, this is all like audience generated. Like we did the you know you're from If video, which everybody should do, right? It's like just proven track record of success. You do a you know you're from wherever your market is, If video. You know you're from San Antonio, If you'll have breakfast tacos. That video.
Yeah.
We did that video. It got, you know, a ton of shares, ton of comments, ton of everything else. And people commented about burger places.
Yeah.
Right? Like they were like,
bring us the burgers.
Yeah, well, they started arguing about who has the best burgers, and I was like, okay, this is the content, you know. And so that's a lot of it too, is like listening to your audience. They'll usually tell you what they want to see, you know.
Yeah. And food is obviously so fun to shoot too. Like it's one of my favorite things. Like you get to eat, try out tasty burgers.
Yeah, I don't know if I need it though, you know.
Well, I mean, none of us need it, but I mean, it's definitely I want it, I guess. So
no, and I felt like food's the cliche thing to do because I feel like everybody does food, but yeah, you can't go wrong.
Well, I mean, and I guess San Antonio, obviously, you can dig into the history and the parks and stuff like that too.
Yeah, we'll end up doing some other non-food local area stuff in the future as well.
Awesome, that's so cool. So yeah, I really like that. I think that the neighborhood spotlights is something that we had gone really heavy on in the beginning of the year as well, and then it was like slowed down very, very quickly.
So what were you doing with neighborhood spotlights?
So I mean, similar thing, maybe less on us eating the food and more so like you know, finding a local business and basically just spotlighting them. So like go in, interview them, what they're about, you know, how they came up with their name or how they started or whatever. Because some you know, places have really interesting stories, right? And you know, so we did that, and then we just have like B-roll of, you know, their food, them cooking, patrons in the restaurant, whatever else it may be. And then yeah, so now it's more so me just selfie videoing outside of a, you know, restaurant, being like, hey, they've got a super sick to-go order, like, and it's easy, and you don't have to talk to anyone. You just walk up and take your food, like.
That's right.
So yeah, it's been a little different as of lately. So I guess outside of you building kind of your own business through video, I know you also help agents as well with theirs in a way, I guess, would be with RETV. Do you want to talk about
For sure.
Talk about
yeah. I mean, we have agents in our brokerage. We have RETV. We are constantly helping agents with video. And so that's been a ton of fun because, I mean, honestly, like, you know, I'm helping out. I mean, Paul's a great example. I don't know if he's still on, but it's like, you know, he came into RETV. He was doing some stuff. He got some great feedback. He started making changes. But there's been like people in our group that I'm like, crap, I need to set my game up. You know what I mean? Like, like you just see some people do some amazing things in our group. And so video is one of those things that, you know, a lot of times we get stuck, right? Like, what should I do? And so if you're serious about doing video, I think it's also very important that you're in some, I'm not going to just say you have to join ours, but like you should be in some sort of creative community that's going to push you with new ideas and new things to do. Because if you're just doing it on your own, it's pretty tough to come up with new stuff all the time.
Well, and that's what I think I like a lot, because I'm in a lot of different groups or whatever. That's the thing I think I like most about RETV. It's like so collaborative, right? It's like you post an idea and people are like, oh man, I love it. And people like steal away, like, here's my script, like, you know, make it your own, do this, do that, you know? So I like that it's a really collaborative mindset. Everyone's there to help each other, you know, with different tech tips, with different tools, with, you know, scripts and ideas to get that feedback before you put it out there to the entire world, right? So I like that.
So for people listening, also, I mean, I think Facebook groups is something that we've, through RETV and other groups that we have, we've learned a lot about in the last year or two. And Facebook groups, if you're talking about, I mean, we're really kind of Facebook, YouTube. Those are our two main priorities, with Instagram kind of getting left alone when it probably needs more attention. But anyways, Facebook and YouTube. Facebook is great, right? Ads, lead ads, all that fun stuff is awesome, fine. But Facebook groups is where the gold mine is. And like you were talking about building a collaborative group and how the group is in there and it's collaborative, it's great, you love it. A bunch of people do. And the culture of a group is super important. So like we haven't been all about growth and getting more members, right? Like we have all these member requests, but we have like a couple stupid questions they have to answer before you join. And we don't let people in that don't answer the questions because we want a high engagement rate in our group. We want people joining the group that actually want to be in the group. I'm sure you've been invited to join groups that you're like, I don't have any interest in this, right? And so one is to not go like super user heavy, like just trying to get a bunch of users in your group. But the other thing is controlling the culture is the most important part of a group. And so like Proper Nest, Nick and Melissa up in Massachusetts, they have an awesome local group, Facebook group. But the biggest thing is that they controlled the culture of it. So if you were going to do, I'm sure you're in some of them, like there's some local sale group and everybody is like arguing with each other all the time. And then there's a bunch of drama, right?
Complaining
like,
about other,
always. And so if you can build a group we're seeing kind of two things, like a niche thing, like runners in Houston, because you're a runner and you love running in Houston. Yeah, no, nobody. I'm good. No running.
Who would join that?
Right. But you know what I mean? Like a niche group that you can create, or like a VIP group for your past clients and sphere of influence. And then figuring out how to just like create a great culture in that Facebook group and give them stuff and all that other jazz. It's way easier to stay in front of and engage with your people through a Facebook group than it is spending money to engage with your people through a business page. And so Facebook groups are the gold mine.
I'm such a rule follower. Like you said, like some people don't answer the questions to get in the group. I thought that was like, I didn't think, I mean, I guess I wouldn't have gotten in if I thought it was required, so I'm like, oh, how do I, like, let me come back to this. Like, I need to think about my ideas for video and come back to this. Like, so that's really funny that people just don't answer. Cause I thought like I wouldn't get let in, which I guess in your group, you don't, right?
Well, I mean, like if you heard about RETV and you really want to join RETV and you hit the join button and you're like, man, I'm not gonna answer the questions. You don't really care that much.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the thought.
Paul says he gets new ideas from other agents in RETV each week. One of the most giving and positive groups he's ever been in. So
thanks, Paul.
I would agree with that. I like, it makes me want to step my game up and realize that like I need some sort of better lighting and studio inside my house that doesn't exist right now. So we'll work on it.
All right. What's next? What do you want to talk about next?
Cool. So yeah, I think Facebook groups is definitely a great way, obviously, to build community and things like that. I guess if someone's just like hasn't started out, I know a lot of people that I've seen flashing on views on Facebook on the interweb. If they're just starting out, what would be like your top 3 tips or top 3 things that they should do that you wish you would have done when you started?
So, well, one, it's different than when I started, right? So
back in my day.
Well, I mean, it's just like the stuff changes all the time, right? Like what works this week may not work next week. Like we just talked about right now, Facebook Live is awesome. Just doing stupid stuff. Like that's what's working right now. When this whole thing's over, like Facebook Live wasn't that great 2 months ago. It was overused. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything special about it. But where I would start in live if you're just starting out. And the reason is you can go live with your phone and say, hey, I'm Tim, I'm out at this house, whatever. In the fact that you're live, you get a instant forgiveness for your video not being that great, right? Because people understand that you're live. What the problem is is if you edit this video and you like make this listing video and it's all edited and it sucks, it's not good, then that's like more cringeworthy than if you just have like a live video. And so being live is a great way to one, practice, because like you're good on camera now, right? You can talk in front of a camera and you sound good. You got your voice and all that stuff. But when you're like your camera voice, obviously.
Yeah, no.
But when you're starting out, it's not like there's some comfort level there that it takes to get. And going live on Facebook is great because you don't have to be perfect, but you practice and you get a little bit better at doing it. And then beyond that, I would say ask Katie what apps she uses, because you have some cool little apps that make pretty cool looking videos. I assume somewhat easy, right? They're not too like intricate editing. But yeah, find some apps that like you can churn out some decent little videos. And then the other thing is like, it's like exercise, right? It's like, I'm going to use the CrossFit example, right? Like people are so into it and they're so good at it because they've been doing it for 3-4 years, but that's because they've been like into it for that long and they got passionate about it. But when you start out, like you can barely do a push-up. So you got to start out doing Facebook Live, doing some kind of like regular, easy to do editing programs. And then as you get passionate about it, you get better at it, you'll kind of, graduate to doing different cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I think the thing with live is it's just so easy. Like this morning I was like walking a house, then I was like, oh, hey, we actually our videographer hasn't been out here yet. So let me flip open my phone. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on?
Yeah.
Just walking in here. I was flipping off lights as I went, but it was just like, since it's shaky and whatever, like I'm not trying to put it as our listing video on the MLS or anything, but it's like, hey, like come take a quick look. You're drinking your morning coffee, you're not doing anything otherwise. So like watch this real quick. And it's a good way to get views and get the property out there quickly and easily. So I like live a lot for that. And
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over or talk about or add, or words of wisdom or advice?
Man, that's a great question. I mean, yeah, I could yap for like 3 hours, but we're not going to do that. No, I would say, it's just like, I make the analogy of doing push-ups, right? Like you can read every book there is and take a webinar and buy a course and get like the push-up things and do all this stuff. And you're not going to get any better at doing push-ups. The only way to get better at doing push-ups is to do push-ups. And it's the same thing with video. Like so many people, they want to get the nice camera, they want to take the course, they want to learn how to use the editing program, they want to like do all this stuff before they start doing video.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work that way, right? Like take out your phone, start making something, start with like maybe your family or your friends or like whatever you're doing, and make videos about that before you maybe make the jump to make videos about real estate, right? Like you see, I make videos about my family all the time. I get better at doing videos there, and then I go do videos for real estate. But just start doing it. Like there's no book you're gonna read that's really gonna make you better at doing videos until you start doing them.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, some of the videos that I've seen in RETV of people that are just using their phone are unreal.
Oh my!
Like I'm like, you're joking, right? Like you don't own a camera? Okay, great. Like it's some of them are crazy. Yeah. So it's very impressive what you can do on your phone.
And the thing is this too, like if you get good at using this, you're actually gonna have a more real need for a camera, right? Like it's like but seriously, it's like somebody, I'm trying to think of, I always try to think of analogies, but it's like buying a sports car before you know how to drive. You know what I mean? Like start with your phone.
Well, you don't use it.
Yeah. And because you're looking at it, you're like, I don't know how to use that thing. Like, you know how to use this. Use this, become a nerd with using this, make some awesome videos with your phone, and then upgrade to a nicer camera.
Yeah. No, and I have so many different things that we've bought along the way. And it's like, if I would have continued to use my phone instead of being like, oh, I'm going to buy this and this stabilizer and this and that. It's like the phone, lessons
for sure.
learned. So
I love it. Good stuff.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day.
Yeah.
Today.
Thanks. If anybody wants to find me, I put my little, my handle right there. So follow me on Instagram because nobody does.
When was the last time you put up a video on Instagram, Tim?
You know, it has. I haven't. You're right. It's not the people. It's me and my inactiveness. That's what it is.
No, the thing
So,
the thing with Instagram, I feel like, and because you were saying like there's a formula for YouTube, there's a formula for Facebook, like whatever.
yeah.
Like Instagram algorithms change so frequently that it's like something that happens this week or something that works this week won't work next week, and that's what's like so frustrating.
Well, the other thing is like getting followers on Instagram. You use hashtags, you do some stuff, but ultimately you have to be posting, right? Like you have to be posting all the time.
Because if you don't post, they won't see you.
To build your audience, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like I get it ready for Facebook, I get it ready for YouTube, I do all this stuff, and then I forget about Instagram.
Yeah.
Usually.
What would you say? We just got another question. What would you say is
nice.
your favorite phone app for editing to add music, text, voiceover?
I'm kicking that to you because I don't edit anything on my phone.
Okay, yeah. I would say honestly for iPhone users, iMovie is like the easiest. You can just take all of the photos and video and drop them in. You can add or not add transitions. You can put in music, and then you can even do a voiceover. So if it's a property tour, you can voice over it and then record the entire voiceover for the entire thing.
And I think Adobe Rush is the one for phones that's supposed to be pretty good.
Okay, Rush. I haven't used that one, but I think I've heard of that one. But yeah, I mean, I think InShot, I've never used it, but I know a lot of people like it.
That's another one.
But yeah, iMovie is normally what I do for just like on the fly selfie, minute or less videos. Otherwise, I use my computer and Premiere Pro and
good stuff.
Whatnot. But yeah,
making it happen.
Cool. Paul, going back to editing his new video.
My man, Paul. Paul's one of our original RETV guys. Like first week he was in there posting video. So
cool.
It's got a special place in my heart. Paul Likens.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, Katie, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you online soon.
Yeah, or maybe if there's events anytime soon. We'll see.
All right. I'll talk to you soon, man. See you.
Bye.